Welcome to another yoga class. We're going to do things a little bit differently in this one. We're going to start with a balancing pranayama. We don't usually do pranayama before asana, but this class is going to be just asana. So it's for those days where you just need to give a little bit of love to the body. You don't have time for the full practice. And I want it to be quite grounding today. So we're going to do this balancing Nadi Shodhan pranayama to really bring us into the center, to bring us to the mat. And then we're going to do about 30 minutes of asana. So to do Nadi Shodhan, we want to take our right hand and we're going to take the index and middle finger and just pop them into the palm. And then we're going to use the thumb and the ring finger against the nose. So the thumb goes to the right side of the nose, the ring finger goes to the left side of the nose. And we're just going to begin to breathe in and out. We're going to start with breathing in through the left nostril. So if you want, you can just watch what I'm doing first. So we're going to take a big inhale through the left nostril while the right nostril is blocked. And then we unblock the right nostril, block the left, and exhale through the right nostril. Then we breathe in through the right nostril. Block the right, unblock the left, and breathe out through the left. Then we're going to keep moving like this. So breathing in through the left. Block the left, open the right, breathe out through the right. Breathe in through the right. Change the block and breathe out through the left. And again, in through the left. Switching the block and out through the right. In through the right. Switch the block and out through the left. We're going to add a count. So as you breathe in through the left, we're going to do it over 4, 3, 2, 1. And as we block the left and breathe out through the right, we're going to do it over 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch the block and out, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathing in left, 3, 2, 1. Switching block and out, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And keep going in your own time. Breathing in for 4, out for 6. We're going to do another 5 or 6 rounds, just doing the best you can. If anything feels suffocating, then slow down the count. Checking in that the body is relaxed, that the belly is expanding as you breathe. And there's a sense of relaxedness here and awareness as you breathe in and out of each nostril. Keep going, a few more rounds. Breathing in this way, we bring the left and right nadis of the body into balance so that we can reduce the polarity and bring the mind into a state of calm and stability. And the more we concentrate on what we're doing, the more we begin to arrive here, bringing the awareness more fully into the body. So paying attention, relaxed and alert. And then the next time you exhale out of the left nostril, just release your hands. There's no hurry, finishing the full round, and then just come back to a regular, normal breath, in and out of both nostrils. Checking in, noticing if that is true for you, that a sense of balance or centeredness came. There's more calm, more grounding, more stability. Great, and then we're gonna rise up. We can remove our props or bolsters or blocks, whatever we were sitting on there. Thank you. And then Eb here is gonna help us through some asana. So we're gonna really kind of just get right into it today because we want this to be a short, sharp, and shiny practice. It's going to be calming and grounding, yes, but we're also going to build a little tiny itsy bit of fire at the end so that we have both calm, grounded, and centeredness, but also the energy to move us through the day. So we're going to start with a dynamic chair. We're going to do this together, actually facing you. And we're going to do one arm at a time today. So take your left hand behind your back. Right one's going to reach up. So what we're going to do is take a breath in for 4, and then as we fold into the chair, so bending the knees, moving forward, we're going to keep bicep by the ear and tap the hand to the floor as we exhale over a 6 count. All right, you ready? So breathing in, 4, 3, 2, 1, and exhale through chair, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1, and exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1, and out, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Breathing in, coming up through standing. Big inhale, strong legs. Release the hand, exhale. Left arm reaches up, big breath in. And exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. So as you rise up over the count of 4, strong straight spine, legs moving through bent to standing, and then 2 more. You can do the count yourself. So exhaling for 6. We really want to prioritize length through spine. Chin is tucked, bicep stays by the ear. Good. And then we really pay attention to our count. So the last fold in, counting to 6 inside the head, paying attention, being present. And then last big rise up, powerful legs, counting to 4. And then exhale, release the hands. Good, both arms up, 4 count inhale. And then exhaling for 6, both hands to the floor, keeping biceps by the ears, bending in, nice, long, straight spine. Good, and then we're gonna hold here in this chair-like fold. And then keep breathing in that 4-6 count. So we're holding completely still, but we're paying really close attention to the breath. In for 4, out for 6. When we lengthen the exhale, we encourage the parasympathetic nervous system to switch on, relaxing and calming the body. We should also be breathing into the belly in this pose. So if you're not already, see if you can feel that belly expand onto the thigh. So we're just going to do a couple more breaths. When we breathe into the belly, we're also encouraging this calmness. The mind can relax. And now forward fold, we're generating that apana vayu, that calming, grounding force in the body. At the end of your next exhale, bring the hands to hips. Then as you inhale, rise up to standing, keep the chin tucked. And exhale, release the hands and just stand and feel. Good. Take a couple regular, even breaths through the nose. Great. And then we're going to take our feet wide, but not too wide. So it's probably about halfway between a wide fold and a regular fold. So we can both fit on the mat. Yeah? Cool. And we're just going to do a little side bending and forward folding. With this, we're going to actually not do a 4 and 6 breath. We're going to do an even breath. And I'm going to encourage you when we're side bending to breathe into the ribs a little bit. So this increases our capacity for an inhale. And when we breathe into the chest, we're bringing more life force and more vitality in. So that's opposed to the belly, which is how we bring calmness in. So we're gonna bring a little bit of sunshine in. Ready? Cool. All right, we're gonna take the right arm, actually, first, we're gonna take hands to the backs of the, kind of where the hamstrings meets the butt. We're gonna take a big breath in. And we're going to exhale, fold, running the hands down the backs of the legs. You can bend the knees as much as you need to here. We're prioritizing straight, strong spine. Good. Inhale, rise up. Right arm lifts to the sky, left to the hip. And then we're going to exhale and fold over to the left. Good. Inhale, back through center, hands to the butt. And exhale, folding forward. Inhale, rise back up. Right hand to the hip, left reaches to the sky. Exhale, fold over. Back to the center, big breath in. Letting the air fill the chest a little bit, and then exhale, folding forward. Inhale, come to standing, right arm reaches, let that breath fill the chest. And exhale, folding over. Back to center, big breath in. Folding forward. Letting the breath fill the chest as you come to rise, raise the hand to the sky. And we're going to fold over. This time we're going to hold the pose. So we want to be holding in a place where we can still comfortably breathe. So it doesn't have to be too deep. And in this pose, we're actually, like I said, we're going to let the breath expand into the rib cage. So this brings a little bit of pranvayu, or really kind of this revitalizing and joyful kind of energy in. So we're going to keep doing an even breath. If you want to stay really present, you can count the breath, either 4 in, 4 out, or 6 in, 6 out. We're just going to do a couple more though. Really, it's the awareness we put into the poses and in the way we breathe that changes the dynamic of the practice. So the more we pay attention, the more the energies move and flow, the more we can shape them. So on your next inhale, come back to standing. Exhale, fold forward again, hands down the backs of the hamstrings. And in this one, we can go ahead and breathe into the belly. We're just going to hold for 3 breaths here. Letting the belly expand and contract, that's going to bring a little bit more calming in. Rising up after your 3 breaths, so rising up on an inhale. This time the opposite hand will reach to the sky. And folding over to the left. Good, we're going to hold here. We're going to allow ourselves to breathe into the chest. Letting ourselves bring in a little bit of vitality, energy. Should still be relaxed though, so if you're folding in too deep and struggling to breathe, you can back it out a little bit. And if you feel like you have enough vitality and it's spilling over into anxiety, then you can skip the part where we breathe into the chest and you can breathe into the belly instead. Cool, maybe just one more round of breath. And then you'll come back to the center on an inhale, and then we're going to fold back into the forward fold. And this time we're going to hold it for at least 5, 6, maybe even 7 breaths. So I want you to really relax. We're going to breathe back into the belly again so that we can calm down any over-energization we just did. I'm not sure if energization is a word, but I said it. So big, deep belly breaths. And this is kind of a little bit of a play, right? So in our lives, if we're ever feeling a little bit up, we can take these kind of forward folds and bring ourselves down, or we can breathe into the belly and we can bring ourselves down. And if we're ever feeling a little low on energy or a little depressed, a little blue, we can kind of stand up and open the arms, breathe into the chest. Maybe breathe in a little bit longer than we breathe out. All right, cool. Just a couple more breaths here. Big, deep breaths in and out of the belly. Letting that belly expand onto the thighs if you can. And then at the end of your next exhale, hands to hips, rising up on an in-breath with chin staying tucked to chest. And exhale, release the hands. Just hold for a minute. See if you can feel into the effects of that pose, however that panned out for you and what it brings up for you. Great. And then we're just going to come down into child's pose. You can take the knees a little bit wide if you like. And then just reaching the hands out in front. Good. We're just going to take 5 deep breaths here. See if you can breathe into the belly for me. Staying present, so avoiding letting the mind wander. So if the mind is wandering, you can count the breath. 6 in, 6 out, or 4 in, 4 out. We're keeping it even now. Or you can feel hands on the mat, feet on the mat. Whatever it takes to keep yourself right here. And we're going to come up into downward facing dog for 5 breaths. And this is a relaxed down dog. So we're always prioritizing length through spine. That means knees can be bent. Chin stays tucked. And if you want, and if you know it, you can use Mula Bandha here, which is when you exhale, you're lifting the pelvic floor. So pulling the pelvic floor in towards the navel. So if the chin is tucked and we're doing Mula Bandha on the exhale, that's 2 bandhas we're using there. If you're not sure, you can watch the bandhas video that is on my site. A couple more big deep breaths. When we use the bandhas, we contain the prana in the center, in the navel. Okay, we're going to take the right foot and step it up between the hands. Step the back foot forward, so you'll be in a forward fold. And just give it 5 big breaths here. Knees can be really bent, spine nice and long. And if you can feel your belly expand into the thighs, that is ideal. End of the next exhale, take hands to hips. And on a breath in, rise up. Keep that chin tucked to chest. Containing the prana. And exhale, release the hands. All right, we're going to keep it moving. We're going to go into pyramid pose. So left foot is going to step back into a warrior 1-like stance. And it's really important here that we're hip width distance apart. So that means widening the stance. That was perfect. Back foot's at 45 degrees. And what happens naturally is that the left hip moves back and right hip moves forward. So we want to square those up. So you could even widen a little bit more. Yep, that feels better, doesn't it? Yep, cool. All right, so we're going to do right hand behind the back, left hand to the sky. Beautiful. We're going to keep the spine nice and straight. Ebb has a little natural arch, but we're going to try to keep that spine nice and straight. Big breath in. And then exhale, we fold forward. We keep the bicep by the ear and we're just leading with the fingertips. So we only fold as far as we can go before that straightness of spine starts to deteriorate. And then inhale, big breath back in. Exhale, folding back in. And let's do 1, 4, and 6. So inhaling 4, 3, 2, 1, and out. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release right hand. Take both hands onto a block, the shin or the floor, depending on your hamstring flexibility. And if your hamstring flexibility is really low, you could even put a chair in front of you. Or this block on the high setting is a pretty good idea. If block on the high setting is still quite difficult, it's okay to put a little bend into the right knee. We're going to move into a revolved pyramid. So left hand is going to stay on the block. Take a big breath in for me, Eb, and straighten the spine. Exhale, lift right arm up to the sky and open in a twist. That's it. Hold and breathe. Tuck chin to chest. This can be a challenging pose at first, but it doesn't take very long before we really start to figure out how to open. A lot of it is in really driving back the right hip and pulling forward the outer left hip. And just like we did in our twist, we want big belly breaths. And you could even sense that expansion of belly into the right thigh. It's not necessary to look up. You could also look out or down, but please keep the eyes still and focus on that big belly breath. Good, just a couple more. Soft jaw, relaxed body, relaxed mind. You're going to finish a breath in and out, and we always untwist on an inhale. So when that comes for you, go ahead and untwist. And then we're just going to fold into the pyramid. We're going to ground down here with a few big belly breaths. Spine always straight and long. There's no need to touch the floor if that's not natural for you and it causes the spine to round. Good. At the end of your next exhale, power up the legs, take hands to hips, and then rise up on a breath in. Chin stays tucked. Exhale, step the back foot to the front, release the hands, and just relax. Feel into the pose, the effects of the pose. Brilliant. And then we're going to just do the other side. So it's the right foot that's going to step back this time. We want that hip width distance stance. We want square hips. Yep, we're going to take the left hand behind the back. Right arm reaches up. Yep, right arm up. Good. And we take a big breath in. Bicep stays by the ear as we exhale. We're hinging forward from the hips, spine staying long. And we just go as far as we can before the bicep dips or the spine rounds. Rise back up again on a breath in. Let's do 2 more 6 count exhales. 4 count breath in. 6 count breath out. Nice and slow. At the end of this one, we're releasing the hands, finding a block, a chair, the thigh, the shin. Taking a couple of breaths here as we prepare for a revolved pyramid. So it's really important to bring that right hip forward, left hip back. Right hand on a block, the floor, or your shin. Take a big breath in for me and lengthen through the spine. Exhale, left arm reaches up to the sky. Good. And then we're finding that deep belly breath. Gaze can be up, out, or down. Keep the chin tucked though. You can even experiment with a mula bandha here if that's becoming something that's easier for you to do. If you can't take big deep breaths into the belly, you can untwist a little bit and find the right place for you. We're staying really focused on the breath. Even when we start to shake or the eyes want to move around, we do what we can to hold really still. Often this external shaking is a reflection of the shaking or the resistance that's happening in the mind. All right, last full breath in and out, and then we're going to untwist on a breath in. So whenever that feels right to you. Good, and then we're just going to hold in the pyramid for a few big stabilizing breaths. Hands to hips at the end of the next exhale with strong legs rising up on an in-breath. Chin stays tucked. Back foot steps to the front. Hands release. And we're just going to move straight into a forward fold. So let the thighs, hands rub down the thighs as you move forward. Legs can be quite wide, they can be narrow, really just taking any kind of fold that feels right to you. We use these forward folds to ground ourselves down, to balance out the asymmetry of that two sides of pyramid. So we want to feel the belly expand into the legs. And you can either do even breaths or you can do a slightly extended exhale. Just a few more here. All right, and then we're going to plant the palms, step back to plank, and just lower yourself to the floor however you want to get there. It doesn't need to be fancy. Good. All right, release the hands, take a couple breaths. Just going to do a really simple little back bend here. So we're going to take the hands to the back of the head. Yep, that's it. And we're just going to lift up 5 times in time with the breath. We really have to use our back muscles here because the hands are not involved. Yep, so we breathe in, rise up, exhale, release forehead to the floor. Good, 4 more. Feet stay pushing into the floor so that we can really isolate that back there. 3 more, rising up on the breath in, gently placing it down as we breathe out. Quite a lot of work. It looks simple, but it's a challenge, right? But we're building agni in the belly as we rise up onto the belly. Was that the last one or one more? Okay, she's like, that's the last one. All right, one more thing, guys. We're going to take the hands out kind of like Superman. Yeah. And we're just going to rise everything up. Hands, feet, big breath in. We're going to hold for 5 breaths. Take your awareness into your belly and feel that the weight is on the belly every time we breathe in. So we really want to expand the belly into the floor. Your breaths might be quite fast, but see if you can slow them down. And when you've done your 5, you can just rest. Keeping the awareness in the belly. Perfect. Good. All right, we're just going to roll on over to our back. And just because we did kind of a little bit of back bending, we're going to very gently pull knees into the chest, just a little gentle counter, giving the spine some time to adjust. Cool. And then we've built a little bit of fire today. We've done a little bit of work, especially if you've used the Mula Bandha, we've got some fire into the belly. So we're going to flip ourselves into an inversion. In the Tantra Hatha world, it's considered that this navel center is where the fire exists that digests all of our experience. So when we pop ourselves up, the lower 2 chakras are now above the flames of the fire. So we get to cleanse out these lower chakras as we go upside down. So a pretty cool way to go. So we're going to do, Eb already knows what we're doing. We're going to do a shoulder stand, but it's not a full shoulder stand. It's a very gentle variation. So you can have a look at what she's doing here. She's actually just got the feet right above the head, and she's just using her hands as a bowl, like to hold the bowl of the pelvis. So it's kind of like her upper body is on a bit of a 45-degree angle, and this is much safer for the neck. It's a very gentle variation, and it means we can hold it for a longer time. So if you can imagine now that there's a fire in Eb's belly, and because we've flipped her upside down, the flames are reaching up towards her feet, and they're cleansing the lower 2 chakras. This is our place of safety, our place of expression. So you can even have that as a little visual in your mind if you like, as you breathe nice and gently, super smooth into the belly. You can feel the belly expand. You can either gaze at the feet or close your eyes and see if you can find a sense of calm and peacefulness here as we let the pose do the work. We're going to give it some time, so settle in. And when the time feels right for you to come out, you're just going to bring the feet over the head a little bit more. And then you can take the hands and place them palm down onto the mat to help you really gently roll out nice and slow. It can be a bit of an arch. There we go. And we're just going to lay in a shavasana for a few minutes. Well, not a few minutes, a few breaths. Yeah, so just lay out flat, let the feet fall out. Use this as an opportunity to feel into the effects of the pose. It's really a beautiful feeling after this one. And we can just do a gentle knees into chest. It's not so much need to do a counter pose if we just do that version of shoulder stand. It's quite gentle on the neck. And then we're just going to roll to our side and we're going to come up to a seat. So take your time, nice and gentle. All right, and we're going to do just 2 more poses before Shavasana, and those are the really kind of my favorite ways to end, so you know what's coming, don't you? Yeah. We're going to do a seated twist. So we're going to bring left heel under the thigh, under the butt, and the right leg up and over. And I usually do this version where I straighten out the leg, because this is a perfectly fine way to do it. You can have a nice straight left leg, right leg in or over, your choice. Right hand is behind. Big breath in, arm reaches to the sky. And then exhale, we either hug the thigh or knee to the outside of the thigh. And then just like we did in our lunge twist and our pyramid twist, we want to feel the belly expanding into that inner right thigh. And we're going to add a little tuck of the chin. So really over-exaggerate the tucking of the chin. And then on your exhale, engage Mula Bandha, just lifting the pelvic floor, nice and subtle. And we're just going to stay like that for the next 10 or so breaths. As we breathe in, we let go of the bandha, we expand the belly, and as we exhale, the end of the exhale, just lifting the pelvic floor, chin tucking to chest. Even just having to do this subtle bandha work keeps our mind, our awareness really engaged in the present moment. This is the factor that shapes prana. All right, we're going to gently unravel on an in-breath. Just have a couple breaths right here in the center. And we'll go ahead and switch sides. So you can be easy like me and right leg straight, left leg in, or you can take the left leg and cross it over like Ebb. Either way, left hand behind you, right arm reaches as you breathe in, nice long straight spine. And then as you exhale, either wrapping the thigh or elbow to the outside of the thigh. And it's a twist from the belly here. So feeling the belly expand into the thigh, big deep belly breaths. And if you're used to just cranking into the twist, have a little experimentation with not twisting so far and feel how sometimes that allows us to breathe a little more expansively, to be a little more relaxed and calm. And then let's tuck our chin to the chest. And at the end of our exhales, we're going to lift the pelvic floor, engaging Mula Bandha. And then as we breathe in, releasing the bandha, full expansion of belly. And staying concentrated as you repeat this for the next 10 or so breaths. And releasing on an inhale, untwisting. Couple breaths in the center. And our last pose, a super simple forward fold, but we're going to imbue this one with the sound of Om. So you can take your butt muscles and move it back. If you're in a crowded house and you don't want to Om out loud, I totally understand. You can just do it silently in your head. We're going to inhale, arms reaching up. And then we're going to exhale, folding forward, hinging from the hips. Hands can come to thighs, knees, or like me, you could bend your knees like so. What's important is length through the spine. Inhale, rising up, and then we're going to do 3 more times with the sound of Om. Rising up one last time, big breath in. And this time as you exhale, a silent Om in your mind and then hold the pose. And then each time you breathe in, think about lengthening the spine from the tailbone all the way to the crown of the head. So it can be helpful to bend your knees if you like, or the other option is to be quite straight through the legs but up with the upper body. Whichever feels right. Big deep breaths, feeling the belly expand. A couple more breaths. And your next breath in, rising up with a straight spine, arms reaching overhead. And exhale, release the hands to the floor. Take a couple breaths here. And then we're going to simply lie ourselves down in Shavasana. If you have a blanket, you can place that over you. If you want to use a bolster under your knees, you can. It's very simple Shavasana. We're just going to feel the belly expand and contract for a few breaths. And then your choice, continue to stay with the belly breathing, or let your mind sleep, your body sleep. Allowing yourself to simply rest here in the stillness. Gently, slowly, becoming aware once again of the belly, with gentle belly breath. Being aware of the miracle and mystery of the breath. Feeling the whole body against the floor. And noticing the whole body breathing. And then in whatever way that feels right to you, starting to wiggle or move, bringing yourself back to liveliness, wakefulness. And eventually we'll meet on our right side. And making our way up to a seat. And either hands at heart center in prayer, or perhaps one on the belly, one on the heart. And we bow our head forward. And we offer the fruits of our practice to all beings everywhere. May all beings, including ourselves, be happy, be well, and be at peace. Namaste.